Hello and welcome to the post-match show. I'm Vaibhav Tripathi and joining me for this one is Shamik Chakravarti and Snehashish Mukherjee. And what a game, what a thrilling game it was. Delhi Capitals finally breaking their, ending their losing streak. They have lost three games before this one, finally fourth one. And what a comprehensive win by 7 wickets and their biggest ever run chase in the IPL history. And that too on the back of a game which was a forgettable game for them, where they were bowled out under 100. At one point, they lost, if I'm not wrong, 6 wickets for 12 runs. It was their stage last game, but this game, the way they started their run chase, the openers, Pathum Nissanka again coming back into the team, making an impact straight. He took the pressure off KL Rahul in the power play overs, and then KL Rahul capitalized once. Pathum Nissanka got out. He was the set batter. He took on the bowlers. Then there was a good partnership with Nitish Rana in the end. Tristan Stubbs, and Ashutosh Sharma finishing the game off. And in the first innings, it was Mitchell Starc, the comeback man, taking 3 wickets. And the way he started, I thought the first ball six, Yashasvi Jaiswal reminded me of that Test series, the Border Gavaskar Test series, when there was a first face-off between Yashasvi Jaiswal and Mitchell Starc. There was a battle within the battle, and today again. But Stark coming back, taking 3 wickets, he spearheaded the bowling attack, which was looking the weak link in the last couple of games. Even today, if you'll see, apart from Mitchell Stark, everybody, all the bowlers have gone for big runs. But that's what a difference maker Mitchell Stark can be, and that's why DC were missing the services of Mitchell Stark. Today, he proved why he's a big match player coming back into the team for a very big match, because in the context of the tournament, every game becomes an important game for, especially for the teams who are dwelling in the bottom or middle. So again, a special performance from Mitchell Stark, but again, Riyan Parak stood up for Rajasthan Royals. In-form openers got out early. Riyan Parak stuck in, scored a brilliant 90. Then Dhruv Jurel was also there in that 100-run partnership. And then the finish by Donovan Ferreira added the cherry on the top. And at the halfway mark, the game was pretty much in the RR's camp because the momentum was there. Akshar dropped the catch of Donovan Ferreira in the last ball as well. So the momentum was in RR camp. But the way KL Rahul and Pathum Nissanka started that 100-run partnership made things easy for Delhi at the end. So Shamikda, first we'll start with you. Historic run chase, but I think it was pretty much set by the openers as well, because opening, as we were speaking in the pre-match as well, if you are chasing the highest total, if you're chasing anything 200 to 220 plus, you will need a good start from your openers. Given that your middle order hasn't performed really well, whether Samir Rizvi, Ashutosh Sharma hasn't received a lot of balls. So I think Pathum Nissanka, credit to him coming back into the team, didn't score a lot of runs before this. He was getting starts, but didn't score any half century. This game, he proved that why he's rated as Sri Lanka's best all-format batter currently.
But to start with, I still cannot fathom their decision to drop David Miller despite this win. And it attests to a confused think tank which doesn't know what it is they are doing. That is to start with. Now, coming to this game, Delhi Capitals had three match winners. Number one, Pathum Nissanka. Number two, Mitchell Stark. Number three, KL Rahul. Pathum Nissanka, the way he neutralized Jofra Archer. So far, Jofra Archer has been, the raker in chief for Rajasthan Royals, and especially in the power play. And the majority of the batsmen are playing him with respect, with reverence. And he, for a change, Pathum Nissanka took the attack to Jofra Archer, bang, 11 overs of Jofra from Jofra Archer's first over, and that set the tone. It was important, and he sort of gave others a template. Take the attack to Jofra Archer. Don't be too defensive, or don't be too mentally sort of to be on the back foot as far as mental battle is concerned. Take the attack to him, and that set the tone. And the way he batted, and very, very smartly during that phase, KL Rahul played second fiddle. After that, he took over. Although he couldn't take his team over the line, but he did almost 85% of the job, and then it was sort of, they were expected. Now coming to Mitchell Stark, first game, and during the pre-show, you were talking about his lack of game time. I told you that the Starks and the Bumrahs and the Cummins, they are the exceptions. First spell, he made inroads, and his second spell at the death was the reason why Rajasthan Royals couldn't get to 240. If they would have done that, they would have taken the game away completely away from Delhi Capitals. It was Mitchell Stark's death bowling that restricted them to a chaseable total. So three match winners, and in that order, Pathum Nissanka, Mitchell Stark, and KL Rahul.
Gaurav, how will you assess Mitchell Stark's spell? Obviously, first wicket that he got off Yashasvi Jaiswal was a full toss, not a good ball. But the ball at which Riyan Parag got out, he changed the angle, came from over the wicket, and then that length that he hit with pace. It was difficult for even for a set batter like Riyan Parag to hit. I think his second spell was, as Shamik also mentioned, it was more impactful. I think that really made difference just because if Riyan Parag would have stayed there, at least 10 runs, if not more, in that total.
Yeah, having a left armer always helps, especially left armer of Stark's quality because he's someone who goes round the wicket in the slog overs. I think he really does well with that kind of an action that he has. Although he's a tall bowler, is what can I say, is more of a little bit of a round arm action, and he tries to bowl those Yorkers right in the slog overs. So yeah, that's what he did well. And I have to say that in T20 cricket, full toss can sometimes turn out to be a good delivery. Can turn out to be a wicket-taking delivery. We have seen it enough times in the past. So don't underestimate the importance of full toss. Obviously, experts do tell that if sometimes if you're not going to get the Yorker right, then look for a low full toss.
Just because you are speaking about full toss, T Natarajan got Shubham Dubey with a full toss only.
Yeah, yeah. What I'm saying is, but what experts tell is, I think Eric Simmons told me that was 2 years, 3 years ago. He basically told me that don't underestimate the importance of a low full toss in T20 cricket, and just that you have to, I think, hit the bat hard with a low full toss. If you're going to bowl a low full toss, then try to hit the bat hard. I've seen, I think, enough bowlers whenever they're not getting the Yorker right, they do attempt a low full toss. That could be even Jasprit Umrah or a Jofra Archer or a Mitchell Stark when they don't have that feel for the Yorker. So he's someone who goes round the wicket as well, and I think he's very, very good at it. We have seen in the past as well with that kind of an angle. So yes, having a Stark in the side would definitely help someone like Delhi Capitals, not just in the slog overs, but also with a new ball because you expect him at least in the matches to come to not just swing the ball. He has also developed that wobble seam delivery, which I think has helped him not just in T20 cricket but also in Test cricket. Before that wobble seam delivery, Mitchell Stark was not. Perhaps there was a time for a couple of years when he's struggling a little bit. Basically, I think it was that MCG test in 2021 when he said that if the king of swing, Jimmy Anderson, is also bowling wobble seam, then why should I try to swing the ball in his test match? So I think that has helped him to take his game to another level, not just in test cricket, but also in the mid-overs cricket. So having him in the side should really help Delhi Capitals. Yes, in the slog overs, he was pretty good.
Sneshish, because Pathum Nissanka took the strike, and as Shamik mentioned, he was the one who put pressure on the new ball bowlers of Rajasthan, where new ball wickets in the power play has been Rajasthan's strength. If you look at the way they have bowled this season, Mandre Berger, Jofra Archer have made that impact with the ball, have made the ball talk. But today was not the case. Pathum Nissanka neutralized the movement, and also what he did was he was playing shots. First scoring six that he played off that flick, classic shot. And Prathum Nissanka, if you look at his recent form as well, we were talking about him earlier in the season as well, that he came into this tournament with good form. He scored that century against Australia. And if you look at last 1 year, he's been Sri Lanka's best all format batter. 100 in England, then multiple hundreds in the bilaterals as well. Important hundreds and against big oppositions. So what is the thing that you, because obviously this in this game, coming into this game, he was under pressure because obviously one bad performance and you don't know with this team management how many matches they are going to give to you, especially as an overseas batter. You have plenty of batters, so there was pressure on him, but he responded in style, and there is a sense of calmness when he bats. There doesn't seem to be a panic mode. He doesn't seem to be in any sort of hurry, and still strikes at a good strike rate. If you look at him, he looks a classical batter, but his strike rate is always 150 plus 160.
Absolutely, and I think today, finally he showed that what he can do on his day. I think, as you mentioned, that all classical shots and all cricketing shots that we talk about, not like unorthodox shots that we always talk about in T20 cricket. But he is a very classical batter, and see, I think he can do much more. If, as you mentioned, the 100 in the World Cup, and also for the last 1.5 year, the way he has been playing for Sri Lanka across all the formats, I think he has shown that consistency at the highest level. But I think he can do. I think the knocks that KL Rahul have been playing. I think that kind of knocks you can expect from someone like Pathum Nissanka as well. But the main thing is, apart from the averages, apart from the consistent big runs and all, the main thing is intent to give that quick start to your team. I think in that case, I think he passed with flying colors today. I think when you were chasing 220 plus, you needed that strong start, you needed a blistering start that we talk about, and he did that. And it was not easy, as you mentioned, that throughout the season we have seen both Jofra Archer and Nandeberger doing the job with the new world for RR. But I think in recent few games, I think Nandeberger is not having his best days. Still, I think Jofra is bowling well. If you see Jofra in his second spell also, I think the way he was hitting 147, 148, KL Rahul's bat, got twisted because of the pace only. So I think he's fully fit. Jofra looking fully fit and he's doing his job good. But I think now he is not getting that support from other bowlers like Nandeberger and all. But huge credit to Pathum Nissanka, the way he took on the bowlers. You needed that quick shot, otherwise it would have been a uphill task for the upcoming batter, especially when you know that your middle order has not clicked that much. And I think that opening partnership set the platform for the upcoming batter. And especially, I think Nitish Rana knock. I think you have to mention that all as well. I think Nitish Rana also doing his job at number three. I think that has helped DC a lot.
Definitely it has. If you look at the last three innings, obviously, leave alone
Yes.
that game against RCB. Before
Mm.
that game, two back-to-back games, he scored half centuries. I'm talking about Nitish Rana, and in this game again, a crucial cameo. Again, that partnership after
Mm.
Pathum Nissanka got out, it was a crucial partnership between KL Rahul and Nitish Rana, and that made easy for Ashutosh Sharma and Tristan Stubbs to finish it off. But Shamik, I would like to talk about KL Rahul because since the last season, he's looking a changed batter, and I think uh, some sort of credit you can give to the Indian team management as well because before the last year's IPL, he was given a new role, a finisher's role. He was batting after Akshar Patel, so he was coming in at six after Hardik Pandya in most games. So he was given a new role of a finisher in a ODI format, and he did well in Champions Trophy as well. You were there, you covered that event. He did well there as a finisher. Then he was given a new role in DC. He was started as a middle order batter. Then in one innings he opened. In one innings he played at number three. He played various roles last season, but he excelled in all the roles. And the biggest change that what I am seeing in KL Rahul's game is his power gain has gone up. There was always a concern around his game against spin, especially during middle overs. But the way today he took on spin, especially down the ground, the bigger boundaries he was targeting. Definitely, his game against his power game has gone up. What are your observations on that?
Well, first of all, KL Rahul has always been one of the most ferocious hitters in the Indian team. KL Rahul, Hardik Pandya, and Shreyas Iyer in that order. The way he can clobber a cricket ball, I mean, not many can do that. But I think it's the mindset. Now he has made peace with the fact that he is no longer in the India's T20I setup. He is not going to play T20I again. So he is not putting extra pressure on himself that I have to make a statement. I have to prove myself to to the selectors, to the head coach, or to the team management that I belong to the T20 setup. He knows he will not get in there because India have better players. I mean, I will not say better players because KL Rahul as a batsman is a class act. But I mean, India have players who just fit into that T20I role, and KL Rahul doesn't fit into that role. So KL Rahul knows he will not get into the Indian T20I team again. So, and now he's a lot more relaxed. He's not putting extra pressure on himself, and he's just playing his own game. And he's just playing. And for a KL Rahul, the thing is that it is always important to have his partner upping the ante first, like what Pathum Nissanka did this game. So once that is done, then he is in his own territory. He can pace his innings. the way he did. And if you look at the strike rate, 180 plus strike rate, so you cannot complain. The only complaint you can say that you scored 152, your team lost, and here also you couldn't take your team over the line. But that would be unfair, because when someone is scoring 152 and the team is posting that many runs, 260 runs, if you can't defend that, it is up to the bowlers, not to KL Rahul. Here also, it sort of covered almost 85% of the game. And if the team failed to get over the line after that, it was down to the batsman who followed him. So KL Rahul simply mentally relaxed. He has made peace with himself, and he is enjoying himself. And what you have been witnessing is a direct result of that.
Bharat, did RR miss Sandeep Sharma or Yashraj Punja? Yashraj Punja, I think, was the pick of the bowlers in the last game against Punjab Kings. 2 wickets. None of the bowlers from both the sides got more than 1 wicket in a high-scoring game. Yashraj Punja was the pick of the bowlers, and he has got different attributes. If you compare it with somebody like Ravi Bishnoi, he's tall. His leg break, was gripping a lot in the last game. He's got a good googly as well, through which he got Cooper Conley in the last game. So, do you think they miss Sandeep Sharma, because Sandeep Sharma could have made a difference at least at the back end, and Yashraj Punja?
Not sure of Sandeep. I'm not very sure whether he's at his absolute best somewhere in 2026. But yes, they could have looked at Punja again. As you noted, he's a tall spinner. Not just googly, I think he also bowls a little bit of top spin. That's what I saw. Top spinner also he bowls. That's what I saw in the last game. And yes, a googly, it skids sometimes. What can you say? Gets a little bit of bounce. So considering all that, I think he could have been useful in these conditions, because there's nothing really happening for the spinners as well in these conditions. And someone who is quite tall, reasonably tall, I think he would have maybe hit the bat higher up on the hit the ball higher up on the bat. I think that is what really helps a spinner, even someone like Varun Chakravarti when he's bowling at his best, hits the bat higher up as a spinner in T20 cricket. I think it definitely helps. So I have a gut feeling he might have just taken a wicket or two. Actually, I was telling to my mother, she's also pretty much a cricket fan. I was telling her that they could have picked someone like Punja in this match, because he's quite tall. I think he's very much a quintessential modern day T20 spinner who could come into the equation, especially in these kind of conditions where there is nothing much in it for the fast bowlers or for the matter spinners.
Especially Shamik made a point about KL's the doors being already shut on KL Rahul when it comes to T20 I come back. But the way he has performed last season, if you look at his number of runs he scored
Mhm.
and the strike rate was up. This year he has started again well, 152. Then again today as well, top scoring in the run chase, highest ever run chase for DC, and KL Rahul emerging as a top run scorer. If he continues to play in this fashion, and if he ends up with a strike rate more than it's not just strike rate, a combination of factors, strike rate and runs average better than somebody like Shubman Gill, Abhishek Sharma. Obviously, it won't happen when it comes to Abhishek Sharma, but if it happens, or even if it is around that figure, will you consider, because he's still 34? Obviously, you will say that he's in higher 30s, but will you close the will you close the doors on KL Rahul despite him performing? He'll say, I have done everything. If IPL is the merit, I have done last season as well. I have done this in this season as well.
Yes, I was also going through the stats, and I think after this knock, I think he is not having at what overall strike rate of 185 plus. I think in this tournament, I think superb in this edition. But personally, I would love to see a batter like KL Rahul in any of the team. A classical batter, technically solid. Who will not love to see him in action? But I think that if you see the modern approach of the modern, T20 setup of a team India, I am saying that the coaching setup and all, I think the team has moved on. I moved ahead of him. I think you are not going to see him in action, because the only position that you can use KL Rahul is at the top. There is no chance we are going to use KL Rahul in the middle order, especially in this format. In ODIs, I think it's okay, and he has settled in that position. I think he has been superb while batting at number four, the number four and number five. Whenever team has needed, he has done the job. But in T20 is the only position that you can use someone like KL Rahul is at the top. But you see the alternative options that you have. You have Abhishek Sharma, you have someone like Ishan Kishan to do the job. You are waiting for someone like Vaibhav Sudhavans in the line. You have someone like Yashasvi Jaiswal. So there are so many names, and I think the only difference I think between someone like KL Rahul and these all names, that obviously he has improved on his strike rate, but apart from the strike rate, the way all these other fellows have maintained that intent in a consistent manner for for the last 2 years, I think that has been the difference. You might see KL Rahul getting failed in the upcoming two games. It can happen, but again he can make up those two games with a big score of 80, 90, or maybe 150 once again. But for someone like Abhishek or maybe Vaibhav, they will every day come and score those quick 40, 50, 60s. So I think in modern T20s, it doesn't matter as an opener, you have to score those 80, 90, or 150. Just matter you score those 50, 60s, but at a strike rate of 300 or maybe 280. I think that makes the whole difference. I think that is where maybe the thinking is. And considering the thinking that has been working for Team India for the last 2 years, 2024 champions, now 2026 champions, I am not saying KL Rahul making a comeback in T20s, but as I started by saying, that personally I would love to see a batter like Rahul in any kind of matches because because the technicality that he has.
Snashish,
We'll
no
look
role.
Delhi.
Just a second. There is no role
Yeah,
for it because simply there is no vacancy.
exactly,
Because if
exactly.
you look at the top Indian team, Sanju
Yes,
Samson and Abhishek Sharma
yes,
are your incumbent openers, and behind them
yes.
there are Ishan Kishan,
Ishan Kishan.
Jasasi Jaiswal, Shubman Gill, and Vaibhav Suryavanshi. So that door has been slammed shut on KL Rahul.
We are
You
not
moved.
taking we are not taking names of Priyan Sharia, Prabh Simran Singh.
Huh,
And
even,
that's where
we
I
were
was
not even
Yes,
taking the
when
names of Priyan Saria.
if it will come
yes,
down if it will come down to a top order wicket keeper batters list, then I think
yes.
after Sanju Samson, what team management would
Ishan
look at
Kishan,
would be a Prabh Singh because he's
Prabh
a
No, no,
top
Simran
Ishan
order
Singh.
wicket
Kishan,
keeper.
Ishan Kishan is
Obviously,
there.
sir, he's the part of the setup. I'm saying outside of the setup.
Yes,
If they
Exactly.
had
Prabh
to,
Simran.
so out, I
Yes,
think
Ex-
Prabh Simran is
now
next
you
in line.
now you move down to the middle order, and
yeah,
assuming that until England series,
yeah.
Surya Kumar Yadav is absolutely safe. You have to keep
Mm.
in mind that he is your World Cup winning captain, right?
Yes,
And a player of Surya Kumar Yadav, selectors don't selectors don't judge a player like Surya Kumar Yadav based on his IPL performances. Even
yes,
Rohit has said many times during interactions with us, for the proven performers, we don't look at their IPL performances. That is absolutely redundant. Now, at least until England, Surya Kumar Yadav is there. And even if something drastic happens, you have Shreya Iyer, you have Rajat Patidar,
obviously,
where, and already you have in that team Shivam Dubey, Rinku Singh. Where you play KL Rahul? No
no chance,
chance.
no chance.
A KL Rahul fan has made a comment. Rajesh Subramaniam is saying, every shot KL played today, it felt like he smashed his haters and those who throw unnecessary criticisms. Admiring this version of KL Rahul. We all are admiring the way he has
Yeah,
changed. Nobody expected KL Rahul to be playing like this, especially after he moved out of GT. But I think he's in a very good headspace. In this environment, he's feeling good. He's feeling more secure, and there is a lot of good things that is happening around him. So I think that is why the runs. When a player is in good headspace, I think that's when he sort of brings the best out of him. And this environment is helping KL Rahul, and he has admitted that if I have to play for just one franchisee, then it has to be Delhi Capitals. But Bharat, let's talk about Riyan Parag because Riyan Parag was under a lot of pressure. KL Rahul was never in pressure, especially the way he started the season. But Riyan Parag, we were discussing in the pre-match as well that he was the weakest link of this RR team until now. But today, early wickets fell. Yashasvi Jaiswal, Vaibhav Suryavanshi, two of your inform openers, that too in the power play. Pressure was on captain, and today the thing which we have been talking about, and I wrote this in my piece as well, that why Riyan Parag is not batting at number 4 when his best season came. in 2024 when he was batting at number 4. So today again he came in that position and he scored runs. He scored a 90. The last time he scored a 90 was at Eden Gardens against KKR. So Bharat, this we know that Riyan Parag is a very talented batter. He has got all the shots. He's a very good, and that's why team management is also keeping him in the loop as far as the selection is concerned. But under pressure, when you know that there is a lot of outside pressure. You are the weakest link, despite being the captain, and to perform in this manner, obviously in the losing cause, but that knock would have given a lot of confidence to Riyan Parag going ahead.
Yeah, if someone is always confident. That is how it feels like. Even when I interviewed him a few years ago, even when he was not scoring runs those days, he was still confident. That is how it appeared. Maybe inside he was not so confident. Whatever it is, I think he's stubborn. Yes, he's a talented batter. I think number 4 works well for him because he takes a little bit of time. He's not someone who comes here and tries to or hits a six first ball or is not exactly that kind of a player. I think it at least takes a few deliveries before he starts going, before he starts getting it right, before he starts ramping up his strike rate. So in that sense, I think number 4 is the right position for him, and it is good that he has made that kind of a contribution because if you are the leader of the side, if you're the captain of the side, then you have to lead from the front, either with the bat or ball. Otherwise, I think the rest of the side would kind of get demotivated if your captain is not really performing. It will also help you to captain the side well because what happens is if you're not performing well, then on the field you will start thinking about the fact that you're not scoring enough runs, about the fact that you're not taking enough wickets. You would not think about the tactical changes or rotation of bowlers in that sense. So from that point of view, it was good to see Riyan Parag doing well. I just have to add one thing about KL Rahul. About 4 seasons ago, see, I'm a fan of KL Rahul, but about 4 seasons ago, he had said that strike rate is not important or on those lines. But 2 seasons ago, after he joined Delhi Capitals, he said, "Now I understand it's mostly about on those lines." I am not exactly quoting him. On those lines, he had said that now it's more about fours and sixes. So I think he has worked on his game as well in terms of his six hitting. Because if you look at how he played that backward stroke of Ravi Bishnoi, I think it was, where he came inside the line, and then after that, if you saw his bat swing, there's a little bit of what can I say, round arm kind of a bat swing. So to play that kind of a stroke of the back foot tells something that he must have worked on his game against spin bowling, and also another stroke that he played where he took the ball well in front of the body. This kind of shots, I don't think KL Rahul was playing some 3 4 seasons ago. So he's definitely worked on his game, and that particular line has changed from strike rate not being important to I understand sixes matter in the present world of T20 cricket, or on those lines that he said 2 seasons ago.
When a 15-year-old is striking at 270, 300, then obviously you have to understand that. And KL Rahul got that, thing. He got that lesson last year before the start of the season. And because since you mentioned that his game against spin, which I was asking to Shamik as well, I think he mentioned one particular name after Champions Trophy when he flourished as a finisher was Abhishek Nair. He said, I have worked a lot behind the scenes with Abhishek Nair, and he has developed me into a finisher. I think a lot of credit that KL Rahul has evolved into a finisher. Is striking really big. Is has to go to Abhishek Nair as well.
Vaibhav, if you talk to the Indian players, majority of them will credit Abhishek Nair, be it KL Rahul, be it Abhishek, be it KL Rahul, be it Rohit, be it Shreya Iyer. I mean, everybody will be full of praise for Abhishek Nair because
He's,
this
he's
guy
been
this guy works his socks off at the nets. I have seen him. This guy works his socks off at the nets, and he helps players get better.
There are KKR fans in our panel, so they might not agree with what Abhishek Nair brings to the table, but
No, no.
I think he has
As
done.
an individual coach, he is fantastic. But as a team coach, I think he is really
As a
super.
head coach, if you look
That
at
is
his
very,
record,
very
he's
good point.
special.
Very, very good point from Snehashish. Because as a team coach, it is entirely different. When you are
Exactly.
working one on one, it is something different. When you are the team coach, It is entirely different. Very,
I
very
think
good point from Snesh.
Abhishek Nair as a batting coach is different. As a head coach, if you look
Yeah.
at his record, it's dismal. Nothing short of
Yeah.
dismal. But Sneshish, before we end the show, I think one person should be talked about is Donovan Ferreira, the Don.
Oh.
He's donning the role of the finisher handsomely, and the way he's been batting. I mean, the if he continues the same way, you will find him at the best strike rate column, and so fearsome. He has a poor record against Kuldeep Yadav, but the way he took
Mhm.
Kuldeep Yadav in the slog overs in his last over was something admirable to watch. The way he hit Mitchell Stark already had 3 wickets, but
Yes.
this guy is day by day, match by day, match. You can see he's growing in confidence. SRH, he scored the first half century
Mhm.
when he put
Mhm.
his team out of trouble with Ravindra Jadeja. Last game against Punjab Kings, he finished the game. Today as well, when Riyan Parag got out at the wrong time, then it was he took the responsibility and took his team past 220. So another 280 plus strike rate. I mean, Donovan Ferreira is a commodity that you cannot drop. And DC, it was DC until last year. Donovan Ferreira
Yes.
was sitting in their camp. They traded him.
Yes.
RR, at that point, I said RR have made a steal buy. Donovan
Mhm.
Ferreira, he's a four-dimensional player. He's a wicket keeper. He's a bowler. He's a gun fielder. Uh, a very destructive batter. Thoughts on
Yes.
Donovan Ferreira's cameo?
Absolutely. I think those two shots, I think one was, that slog sweep against Kuldeep Yadav. I think excellent. I think excellent. And that inside-out shot against Kuldeep Yadav also. I think he was superb. So it's so good to see, Donovan Feder finally coming up to the ranks and he's playing those knocks. And I think if Ara would have been, winning, I would have ended up winning this game. For me, I think he was the player of the match, not Riyan Parag. Though Riyan Parag scored 90 of 50, but for me, I think Donovan Feda was the player of the match. If Adar would have ended up winning this game, I think he made the real difference. Because despite that Riyan Parag's knock, I think it was when he got out, when Stark managed to take those 2 wickets in single over. At that stage, things could have been a little bit trickier for the team. I think they could have ended around 190, 200 maybe. But Donovan Feda made sure that the team ended up around 220 plus. Excellent knock, the way he plays spin, and we know that he is a very good player of spin. I think in a T20 tournament, whoever seen him in action, I think they know that he is a very good player of spin. And I think it has been the trend for South African batter. If you see for the last few 2 3 years, I think whatever South African batters are coming up, whoever coming, they are very good player of spin. If you see this Luan De Pretorius guy also plays spin very well. I know that he is yet to arrive in IPL, but one day he will, and
Luandri
he will.
Pretorius.
Yeah,
Luandri.
Luan De Pretorius.
I
Yes,
thought
yes.
I thought you said Dwayne Pretorius.
No. Luan Pretorius. Yeah, Luan Pretorius is done and dusted. The chapter is closed. but yeah, but Donovan Ferreira, I think excellent, excellent. But it is good that I think the move that finally Adar understood that dropping someone like Shimran Hetmer and trying Donovan Ferreira, I think finally paying off, and it's a very good move. Yes, unfortunately, the cameo ended up being a flop. But going forward, the contribution that he's making from the middle order of Adar, I think it will be beneficial for the team for going forward for sure.
I'll say a
Rajesh
small thing
Subramanian.
on what is said on South African batters being good against spin. Yes, in the high Welsh, in test cricket, the ball seems around. You see enough grass. But what I've seen in limited overs cricket is the pitches in South Africa, even for SA T20. Some of these decks, it seems to be more of spin friendly decks. I'm not joking. I saw some of these tracks. It seemed like it was a bit more of a spin friendly decks. Maybe some of the squares in South Africa are getting a little drier. Maybe they have been those tracks have been squares have been around for long, so that could be the case. But that's a curious thing that I noticed about limited overs cricket in certain venues in South Africa, that the tracks have kind of helped the spinners in that sense. Maybe it's helping some of these younger batters to improve their game against spin.
We have one comment which says that Akshar as a captain needs more discussion. I think Shamik made this point in the pre-match as well that maybe he's not the captain material or in the leadership part of a leadership group. But yes, so that brings us to the end of the discussion. A handsome victory for Delhi Capitals, breaking their losing streak of 3 matches, and memorable win, good win historic run chase as well in for DC in the IPL history. And tomorrow is a big game, obviously El Clasico, MICSK again at Chepauk. Will MS Dhoni play? Will Rohit Sharma play? Is a question that will be answered closely to the game. But obviously, if something comes up, we will obviously update you. That's why we say for all the news breaks, make sure you are turning on the notification bell on, so that whatever news breaks we get, we post it here, and there will be something before the game. So please keep an eye on our space, and we shall see you in the pre-match show. Thank you guys. Thank you Snehashish. Thank you Shamik. Thank you Varun
Thank
for
you.
joining. We'll see you tomorrow.